Hello, 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 and welcome to How Animal Crossing Took Over the Frickin' World! I'm not joking. This game not only took over my life, but also was anything anybody talked about for a while. Now, I hear you saying, Naya, how did Animal Crossing take over the world if I don't even know what Animal Crossing is? Well, to that I'd say, how do you not know what Animal Crossing is? Like, for real. Anyways, Animal Crossing is a Nintendo game where you are basically a slave to this evil raccoon named Tom Nook, who you literally are in debt to all the time. And you do mindless tasks to build up your island and make it look as aesthetically pleasing or not aesthetically pleasing as you want it to look. And you have villagers in your island that come and go, and you get to talk to them and kind of just make the island your own. That's basically it. In theory, it really does sound boring. So then how has Animal Crossing New Horizons taken over the world? Well, Animal Crossing New Horizons came out on March 20th, 2020, which is honestly probably the best time it could have come out. It was right smack dab in the middle of quarantine between the, yay, we have no school and no work, to, oh my God, please get me out of the house, I'm going stir crazy. And when I tell you this was the perfect time for Animal Crossing New Horizons to come out, I mean it is the perfect time for Animal Crossing New Horizons to come out, because everyone was yearning for social interaction and for something to do. Animal Crossing gave that to us. It was literally the perfect mindless and calm game that everyone needed, so they could live out their life and dreams and hopes through their little cute Animal Crossing character. This is my character, isn't she pretty? Nintendo sold 26 million copies of this game by September 2020. And Animal Crossing became the new craze and honestly the only thing that was keeping most people sane. Now, why is Animal Crossing that addicting, you may ask? Well, Animal Crossing is addictive because it's an escape. It's a break from our mundane lives. We don't have the money to buy any of this cool stuff in real life, but it's easy to collect bells and fill our Animal Crossing homes with junk we don't need. In our real lives, we can't escape to stress-free island living, is what the great people at Partners in Fire said. And honestly, I could not agree more. Now, maybe me saying that Animal Crossing New Horizons took over the world was a bit of a stretch. But it sure did become really popular really quick. Now, if you have the money to spare and you would like some mindless gameplay and some calming music, like, listen to this. You can't tell me this doesn't just... Anyways, as I was saying, if you have the money to spare, you should indulge in getting Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is honestly really, really therapeutic and just something that you can use to take your mind off of the stress of school, work, or whatever. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. See you later. Bye.
The inauguration may have passed.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
But the fashion talk is still all around. Everybody went crazy over some different things people wore. So I'm here to talk about some of the favorites. Shoes costing more than some people's car. The Dior Jordan 1s made an appearance on Nicholas A's feet. The shoes were first spotted walking in the background of Amy K's speech. And then Nicholas was found with his daughters wearing these expensive shoes. The average cost is around $2,000, but some people are reselling them for almost $7,000. Like I said, that's more than some people paid for their car. Next, everybody was impressed of how good some of the ladies' fits were. There were many suit outfits with the monochromatic theme that the ladies wore. They were going around known as power coats. Kamala Harris wore a beautiful purple, indigo, maybe hints of blue suit.
The Vice President-elect of the United States, Kamala Devi Harris, and Mr. Douglas Emhoff.
Michelle Obama wore a stunning red and maroon color.
Michelle Obama looked so stunning that we wouldn't blame you if you completely missed the fact that she was walking with her husband, former US President Barack Obama.
And Joe Biden wore a very complimenting blue.
Dr. Jill Biden all showed up and showed out as the new president and vice president of the United States were sworn in.
And there were so many other ladies that wore beautiful colored power coats. And of course there was Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez wearing very statement pieces. Lady Gaga looked like a princess.
Please welcome Lady Gaga.
And Jennifer Lopez wore a beautiful white suit.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands.
Then of course, everybody's favorite look was our own Mr. Bernie Sanders. He explains how he just wanted to stay warm, but everybody was obsessed. This picture went all around, and the mittens that he was wearing, they have literally been selling at outrageous numbers. There was a tweet posted about the company, and I guess everybody just wanted to feel as cozy and cool as he did. He was just a fashion icon waiting to be exposed. Huge congratulations to our new president, and I can't wait to see the future for our country and of course fashion.
If you're looking for a new book to read, I have a suggestion for you. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black is the story of Jude Duarte, a human living in fairyland. When she was only 7, her parents were murdered. Then she went to live with their fairy murderer in Elfhame. After living there most of her life, the only thing she wants to do is remain in Elfhame and fit in. However, Prince Cardan wants to make sure that never happens. Cardan despises Jude and does everything in his power to embarrass her. To earn her place in society, she must defy him by joining the Court of Shadows. To check out this book, and the second book in the series, The Wicked King, go to the eClass landing page. Then click on Apps, and then go to the Media Catalog app. That'll take you to Brookwood's Destiny Discovered. Once there, search up the book, and then click Hold on that book. Make sure you are logged in. After that, go to the Media Center to pick up your books.
As its formal announcement in May of 2019, the NASA Artemis program is taking slow but steady progress. As a sister of the Apollo mission, you can only expect great things to come from these future programs. As the Apollo mission went to the moon, the Artemis mission is hoping and making envisionments of going to Mars. With steady planning, the takeoff for this program is supposed to occur in 2024. The Artemis mission is pending to send humans from Earth to the moon and then to Mars. This distance is a feat humans have yet to achieve to travel, as just from the Earth to the moon is 250,000 miles, and from the moon to Mars is 140 million. That's roughly 560 times the distance from Earth to the moon. The dramatic difference between the mileage from the Earth to the moon and from the moon to Mars is manageable, with the lack of atmospheric force that starts on the moon, but it's still a feat to be troubled with. Using the Space Launch System, or the SLS, in the Orion spacecraft, NASA hopes to be sending up supplies into orbit by 2023. However, before this can occur, they have to prioritize the construction of the Gateway first. But what is the Gateway? To serve as a storage system and a temporary residence, NASA is currently mapping out the plans to build an outpost that orbits the moon, also known as the Gateway. However, they also have plans to build a lunar base on the southern pole of the moon, as they posted about in the Artemis program Twitter. The estimated expense of the Artemis program is a whopping $35 million alone, not to mention the price of building an orbiting station to dock supply shipments and a full-on lunar base. With much progress to be made, the NASA Artemis program is underway, and yet 50 years later, there's still so much we have left to explore.
Hello Brookwood, this is Matthew. With COVID-19 continuing to persist in 2021, we need to know how to handle the rest of the semester. Despite COVID cases still rising, schools continue to admit students, and many students can probably see for themselves that the amount of students now actually in school has only increased. So, what does this mean, and is this a good idea? Well, as for what it means, it probably means that digital learning isn't working out for many of the students who were digital learners in 2020. It is much more difficult to concentrate at home compared to in school, so either they or their parents would rather have them go in person. Whether it is a good idea is a difficult question to answer. On one hand, sending kids to school when the virus is still a problem may not be a good idea, and maybe schools should be closed entirely, as has been done in places around the world. However, safety precautions are being taken to minimize the risk of infection while at school, including the requirement to wear a mask, sanitize often, and to social distance, though to be effective, students have to actually follow these rules. Additionally, many people are in a situation in which they cannot easily learn from home, possibly due to lack of access to technology, or due to an inability to focus with many distractions. And, in general, going to school is necessary for the social well-being of teenagers. I personally believe that it is not worth the risk, but it is a necessary choice for some. Because we recently had a week in which everybody had to be digital, some students could probably easily see that digital learning would not be able to continue for them. In the end, the decision is up to each individual family for whether they want their kids sent to school this semester. Another concern is on the part of the teachers, who not only are in a higher risk category than students, but also do not have the choice to teach from home. For many teachers, this has probably been the toughest year yet, with many digital students not putting nearly enough effort into their classes, and with too many students in person to properly social distance. We can only hope that a vaccine arrives soon and that people follow safety precautions. This has been Matthew reporting on the return of students to schools. Have a great day, Broncos.
Hello all, and welcome to my Flash Friday segment for today. So today I'm going to be talking about GameStop and how the Reddit community helped its growth in the stock market. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so to start off, basically what happened was a group of people on Reddit, they're like, hey, we should mess with these people on Wall Street and let's inflate the GameStop tax, right? So basically this happened because they were the people on Wall Street, what they wanted to do was they were betting on basically the downfall of GameStop, essentially. And so when the stock goes down, they would get a profit from it. But what the people on Reddit did was, as of 125 yesterday, they increased the stock 125%, causing an inflation. And the people that were bidding on the downfall of the GameStop stock having to pay lots and lots of money. But one of the also interesting topics was a Texas fifth grader made $3,200 off of the GameStop shares that he bought for $6 in 2019. I mean, for a 10-year-old, he bought 10 shares in 2019. His mom gave it to him. And now he has $3,200. That's a lot of money for a kid who's only 10, not even in middle school yet, I'm pretty sure. Let's keep in mind, with this being said, now GameStop is one of the Fortune 500 companies, and I think that's pretty good. It shows what we can do, but there's also a lot of issues with that, and there's currently lots of lawmakers and different people involved, and they're very upset about what happened here. And according to CNN, they think it somewhat has to do with the Robinhood app. And so basically, when the stock was rising for GameStop, essentially what Robinhood did was they stopped allowing people to start buying GameStop stock, which isn't really allowed per se, because you should be able to buy and sell whenever. But yeah, it's a free trading app, so it would make sense that you should be able to buy and sell, but you cannot sell. That's the thing. On Robinhood, you can only buy. But what they did was they stopped allowing people to buy stock with the GameStop, which caused massive issues between multiple and many people talking about the rights and everything. anyways, what it seems to be is there might even be hope for AMC to become a Fortune 500 company due to the Redditors, I guess. I wonder if that's how you say it. But due to them, GameStop is now back in business. And with that being said, that is all I have for you today, Broncos. Have a great Friday.
Hello Broncos, it's Tristan, and today I will be talking about COVID again. So this marks almost the first year from my first segment about COVID. The World Health Organization suggests that this is not likely to become a global phenomenon. Which, to say the least, has aged horribly. Anyways, we may finally start to be seeing the end of the pandemic that we're going through right now. What do I mean by that? The COVID vaccine, of course. Where did the COVID vaccine come from? How does it work? And when will you, an average American teenager, be getting it? That's what we're here today to go over. Let's start from the beginning. So the development of this current COVID vaccine that we have started in midsummer 2020 in Germany with two companies, Moderna and Pfizer. Sorry, I don't speak sauerkraut. So the scientists making the vaccine opted for mRNA vaccines, which isn't the typical method of vaccines, but we'll get into that next segment. Anyways, they made these mRNA vaccines and put them into people, sent those people out into public, and both companies got about a 95% difference between the people with the vaccine and the control group. With this success, Pfizer applied to the FDA for it to be approved. It did, and now we officially have our first COVID vaccine, only for the people ages 16 and up though. So now that we know the history of it, let's get on to how it works. So the COVID vaccine is a little bit different than most other vaccines, as we have stated, as it uses mRNA versus just injecting a dead virus as most opt to do. So if you remember correctly from your freshman biology class, or if you are still a freshman, which God be with you then. Most vaccines work by just inserting a dead virus into your body and letting your body take care of it and gain immunity from fighting it, with it being dead so it causes less harm. But COVID is a bit of a different case. So because of us not knowing the long-term side effects of COVID, scientists opted for putting an mRNA into that vaccine. What's the difference? Well, mRNA is far less stable than an actual virus. So it's easier to get out of your body and thus prevents you any long-term negative side effects that COVID would have if it was just raw injected into your body dead. So anyways, when will the average high school student be getting a vaccine? Well, that's kind of up in the air right now. And as we know, we have moved on to the new Biden administration, who basically had to start from scratch with their plans, since there really were none for the Trump administration because their main job was getting the vaccine approved. So when will we get it? That's to be seen. You can pay for it now, but an official distribution plan from the United States government has not been decided yet. So let's just hope for the best, y'all. That's what's going on with the COVID-19 vaccine right now, Broncos. But remember, for the time being, please wear your masks, and practice social distancing as best you can. Have a great day.